You said Akshay told you that make it with newcomers, and you told him ki kaun dekhega. Why have we become like that?
No, I actually believe they will watch it. But it is not my 25, 30 crores that is going into a film.
So you're just being careful.
As we were talking just before the camera rolled,
Yeah.
those were different times.
Right.
Things cost less. So.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He's going out with a director, seasoned director, Mohit Suri, could be his next director potential film. So if he was a little bit nervous and underperforming, it's not totally not his fault.
And I'm not the Mohit Suri after Ashiki one. I'm the Mohit Suri. I'm not before Ashiki one. I'm the after one. So it was way easier for the other ones. Right?
Yeah, your characters always have great chemistry. Here are two people who don't know each other. They come, they meet in front of you literally. How do you go on that they should have this electric chemistry to pull off a love story?
Would help because you were so close to them, like when it came to Adi, Shraddha, whatever, or Kunal Khemu, or it came to Imran or whatever.
Right.
But with them, I think it just became about both of them. About if one person was messing up, he was helping, the other one was helping the other.
That's sweet. Yeah.
That was really cute
Very
to
sweet,
see.
Yeah. You have done great for newcomers and younger actors. Do you take this responsibility now? Two acting careers you have taken on yourself. They are going to be out there one Friday.
Today, no matter what happens on the 25th of April, Shraddha Kapoor, no matter where she is, she will always call me and tell me,
oh, nice. Yeah.
Thank you for wherever I am today.
Wow, that's really nice.
Whether it's Mithun, whether it's... I spoke to Arijit a few days back. Yeah, we all want to... Some people all become filmmakers because, the money is great, the fame is great, but somewhere you can feel that you've touched someone's life, right?
That production house where you started was very different. But, you know, that gave you your roots, that gave you your storytelling, the power. This is a very different place. Yes. How is Yash Raj different?
The basics
it's
are
everybody's
the same,
dream to work here.
Yes, totally. But the basics are the same. The importance to script. I know of companies who start without a script. That company wasn't, this company was. Right. Now I don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
But this company obviously came with a script. The importance to music.
Tell me about working with Aditya Chopra.
It meant a lot to me. It was great validation. Actually, it was quite a thing. He saw the film and someone like him to even turn and say, no matter how the film does or no, I want to tell you, you know your job. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing,
that takes a lot of...
You're amongst the very few directors who understand music. How did you understand music at the start, if I take you to Vishesh again, back to your first film?
Well, it was survival, Survival is the mother of everything, I think. Let's be honest, we didn't have stars in Vishesh. Yeah. And the only thing that people wanted to market and sell very well would be the music. Hi, this is Mohit Suri and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.
Mohit, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. Good to see you.
Thank you so much, Rohit.
After very long?
After very long, yes, after very long.
Right. Mohit, I'm going to take you back. Let me tell you so that you relax. Your songs are trending. Your movie has the right buzz. Your actors have excitement. You know, we want to see what they are like.
Thank you so much, man. We tend to get so caught up trying to get the copy and stuff like that and all. We don't know what's happening in the world outside. And you're someone I really go back with, have history with, and I really take your word for it. The fact that you're saying it means a lot.
Thank you. No, totally. You know, all of you all put together, everybody working on the film has definitely done something to create this excitement that I really want to see what they are like, how they talk, what the story is. And also, I have loved your movies, you know that. So I'm going to take you back to the idea when this started. Where did this come from? Back of your mind? How did it take shape?
Actually, it's really unusual. Post-COVID, I had finished a film. I'd done a thriller which had not done so well, Villain 2 essentially, and I was thinking of what to do next. And at that time, I could see, I'm not mentioning who, but there was a very big budget action film that released at that time. And the promo was big and huge and, things blasting, buildings blowing up, tanks, everything. I think the filmmaker had put so much into it. I somehow still felt something was not hitting there with this. And it was actually, I just felt there was a deafening effect happening. I'm not taking away from the fact that they won't do well. But I was actually felt that what more can a filmmaker do? And things with action films is you plan it out today and it becomes like a cold war of how much the VFX department is actually going to earn because we're just going bigger and bigger and destroying different countries and making the enemy bigger also. So I said, what do I do? And in the meanwhile, I saw the Romantics. And that time, Yash Raj was not even in the picture.
Okay.
And I saw the Romantics, which talked about the 80s, where Adi sir gave an interview for the first time and talked about how he wrote a love story. So I said, that's it, I'm going to write a love story. So I didn't have a producer. I hired my assistant, who really capable boy called Sankap Sadana, to help me write this film.
Okay.
So he wrote it. And it was Love Ranjan actually also who really pushed me to say that write a love story, Mohit. Write a young love story, you're very good at it.
Yeah.
Because he had worked with me in Malang, and he felt there was a kind of thing that I brought to the film that. So they all pushed me, and it just looked like signs. But at that time, we had no idea who will make it. There, we put in our own money. Then Rohan Shankar also came in. We did this with no producer, with no future, whether this film will be made or not made. In fact, a lot of senior filmmakers who, when they asked me what I'm doing, I told them I'm making a newcomer love story, and they said it'll never be made. Because at that time, that was, I don't blame them. I don't think they had anything against me, but those were the times you had big sequel films doing well. You had big action films doing well, and all that was or slapstick comedy or something that was going on. And then here I bumped into Sumanna Ghosh, who told me Adi sir is looking for a love story. I met Akshay Vidhani, who's my producer, who I know from before, and they said, do you have a script? And I had this. I honestly didn't know, because usually you thought that they would be looking out for a big star cast film, but the nature of the film was, it was for 24, 25-year-olds. I could not cheat the age. And I met him, and he said, this is the film I've been wanting to make. I've been looking for a lot of love stories. And then he turned and said, would you make it with newcomers? And I asked him, so who's going to watch it then? Because, who'll make it? He said, I'm going to make it. Okay. So here it was the other way around. There was, there's a tendency what happens to filmmakers, which I have also been a part of, is sometimes in trying to make it commercially viable, we do opt out to choose people who are not age appropriate or not right for it, but are more commercially viable for the film. And I've done this in the past. Okay. Sometimes to just be commercially safe when you're starting the film. But in the long run, those are just not things. And whenever I've not confirmed with that, it has actually helped me. Ashiki, when I made Ashiki 2 also, they were not the most profitable people at that time. When I made Villain, even Siddharth was coming out of one film and not known for an action film, and nor was Ritesh known for... He was known for a comic thing and not as a villain. Right. Even during Malang, I don't think even Adi was doing really well, but it was an ensemble vision. So whenever I've actually gone and done casting in the right way, which is right for the film, and this was a film about falling in love for the first time. It kind of is odd if you're falling in love for the first time when you're 40s or late 30s, right? So I was running out of options to do. And I thank both Akshay and Adi sir to actually allow me to make the film authentically right, I think.
Right. They are the best people to back a project in today's day. Yeah. You said Akshay told you that make it with newcomers, and you told him ki kaun dekhega. Why have we become like that?
No, I actually believe they will watch it. But it is not my 25-30 crores that is going into a film.
So you're just being careful.
As we were talking just before the camera rolled, those were different times.
Right.
Things cost less. So. Now things have, with OTT being just around the corner and all, things have gone up. And technicians charge more. Everything charges more. Everything costs more. So and to be honest, let's be honest, the company I came from, I think, was a very ballsy company, if you really look at it. Actually half the films I made, which I've done well, should have never been made. If you're going let's talk even Kalyug, or even Zeher when Imran was whatever, Murder 2 was a very offbeat film that we worked on together. So all those films, if I was really following trade magazines or figures and all, none of these films should have really been made, right? So you would expect the outside people to behave that way. So I did have a couple of people who were interested in doing this film. I'm not mentioning who.
Sure.
But so I tried to throw in those names. And I remember Adi sir and Akshay telling me that, you can get them. We can get anyone, being you and us together.
Right.
But we're telling you, we're just satisfying the commercial department and the distribution department in the company. But the box office is not going to land. This film is about newcomers, it's about falling in love for the first time.
Yeah, that's...
And... yeah, I was feeling scared to ask my producer to invest so much
Sure.
on a newcomer film.
So, and then how did they come on board? How did your
They
actors
came
come?
on. They came. So Aditya made me meet this boy, showed me all his auditions and stuff like that.
What were they
Obviously,
like? Like,
so they were films from from various films. The ones that caught my eye were Dil Mushkil was surprising. He did one Humpty Sharma a comedy scene really well,
okay.
and he did some Kabir Singh, some. So they did a mixture of a lot of things, but he knew I was not satisfied. So he actually said, "Why don't you guys go out for dinner?"
okay.
So I met him one day, and for the first time when he came out to my office in Bandra, Ahaan was behaving a little too well. And I said, I called them up and said, but you all said he is a different type of guy. This is too
Sweet
nice a
boy,
guy.
yeah,
He's too
yeah,
sweet, and yeah. Then they said, no, he's probably got scared or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I met him informally, met him outside, went out for a couple of beers, and he was still behaving himself. Then I said, take me out where your friends are. So I pretended that I wanted to, I was,
Wow,
and I asked him to stop calling me sir.
Yeah.
That didn't take long. In 15 minutes, I was bro. That's what I love about this generation.
Yeah.
Man. It's not, it's different. And then suddenly, something around 2 or 3 o'clock in the night, suddenly I could see this guy sitting on the bar, not on the stool, on top of the bar, being the character that I wanted him to be.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah, that's when I just felt he was right. I think when the guard came off is when I think he started behaving. And that's, I think, my job also. Yeah.
Right.
I've actually worked with 4 generations of newcomers,
Right, true, you
And
have.
I'm a little maybe more comfortable with them. Not that the stars I've worked with have not this thing, but I've somehow been, the thing with new people is you capture their strengths and cover
Yeah.
their minuses. And
True.
I think that's what I could just see is this boy was suddenly getting into shape.
Yeah.
Into shape, as I mean, is into the character that I wanted him to be.
True. I don't blame him. He's going out with a director, seasoned director, Mohit Suri, could be his next director, potential film. So if he was a little bit nervous and underperforming, it's not totally not his fault.
And I'm not the Mohit Suri after Ashiki one. I'm the
Yeah.
Mohit Suri. I'm not before Ashiki one. I'm
Correct.
the after one. So
After
it
one.
was way easier for the other ones. Right?
Yeah. Right. So at what point did you ever tell him that I'm going ahead, or how did it?
Yes, I took a week, and I saw whether that was consistent, and I realized he was more that than what he was when he was behaving himself.
Okay.
And even if he was 10% of how he was that night, I think it would be great for my film. I think.
Wow.
So I think I think he was told by Adi, so you're not getting it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that must have been.
Yeah.
something,
So I think he just was then behaving
right.
like he was not it.
Good.
Aneet obviously was it took 4 or 5 months to find this girl.
Okay.
And sorry if I'm not sounding politically correct, but one thing that was very scary was I wanted a young 22-year-old girl who had not done something cosmetologically to their face or body in today's day and age.
It's a big requirement.
Yeah, it was a big requirement. Can you believe? I didn't think it'll be that big a requirement. And not only that, I wanted the kind of role it was. I needed someone who felt real and had not done something to themselves. She's someone, and she had done a little work before this, and she was brilliant at it. So she predominantly was a great actor, especially the part that I required her to be. But she playing a Punjabi girl, being from a small town, I mean, from Amritsar, from middle class family and all that stuff, just fit in. But still more, not we have a wrong idea of what small town India is like. They're more conventionally out there than we are.
Absolutely, yeah.
So she had more to tell me than I had to.
Amazing.
I thought, and so then, and she's the one who came through the whole slotting of auditions. I'm not saying the other ones were not good, but sometimes I think they were a little too done up also.
Right. Like you went out to break your ice with Ahaan. What was your meeting with her like?
Oh, it was disastrous actually. She came in a yellow costume to the office, and Ahaan was there with me. And that's when I realized Ahaan had also matured up. He could realize, but he had spent some time with me, spent 3 or 4 months with me. And the first thing, this girl entered, and I was like, "What the hell are you wearing?" Because someone told her this is how the character was, which is not what my yellow flowy dress.
Okay.
You can see the picture at the back. It's not even that character at all.
Right.
And I said, "What the hell are you wearing?"
Huh.
So I think it's really being fair. There was a senior director saying this to a
Yeah.
newcomer. Yeah, she must have
I
got
wanted to
really
say,
scared.
yeah. Like,
So
Mohit,
it's quite
she's
mean of
a-
me to do that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, now thinking about it.
Huh.
But this generation gets chatty
Yeah, that's
when they get scared.
Okay.
So she got chatty. So Ahaan stepped in and before she causes too much damage, tried to cover up and tried to take all the chattiness onto himself.
Right.
So that's when I just realized that he had matured up and but her tests were damn good. Her
Okay,
tests were
that's
really good. And I even she had tested for colleagues of mine like Anurag, Kunal Deshmukh. They'd all she was actually genuinely someone who's been in the testing market.
Right.
So and Shanu really vouched for her, so I thought she was really good.
Right. Your characters always have great chemistry. Here are two people who don't know each other. They come, they meet in front of you literally. Then how do you go on that they should have this electric chemistry to pull off a love story? How does it happen?
I think, what happens is you do all these workshops and you do all that stuff and all, but nothing really prepares you for the set. It's like playing in the nets and then going out in the field and playing real IPL cricket or playing international cricket and all. I remember Aditya asked me if you want to read. I said, I've read with them, but I don't think this character is the kind who I can be in a room and read with them because he will never be sitting down. He might be sitting on the table, not at the table. So I think we went with the flow. But I think what is really nice between the both of them is, earlier the age gap used to not help. Would help because you were so close to them, like when it came to Adi, Shraddha, whatever,
Right.
or Kunal Khemu, or it came to Imran or whatever.
Right.
But with them, I think it just became about both of them about if one person was messing up, he was helping, the other one was helping the other.
That's sweet, yeah.
That was really cute
Very
to
sweet,
see.
yeah.
With the other characters also, even the ones who in the band who we cast real musicians, and I told Ahaan, I want y'all to do a workshop, and the workshop is go to Imagica and go to the water park.
Okay.
Because a band always doesn't make music, they go and have fun also together.
Yeah, true.
So they did that. I think those were the kind of workshops that they did.
Nice. Just go have fun.
Yeah, go have fun. Because we are not the professions, characters are not the professions that they play.
Okay.
It's what they do when they're not playing, they're doing their profession, I think,
Fair
right?
enough, right.
So I think that's how I think, chemistry is listening actually. Acting is more about reacting, and I think when you're giving the other person the shot. But what's sad is they're so raw about everything. I think they lose their skill one day. That's really sad.
Right.
They'll get their skill.
Yeah.
That's what the scary part is. Right now they're raw and they're just happy. They acting. They love. And you can shoot with them for long hours.
That's true. You can't do that with others.
Can't do that.
Yeah,
So
bilkul nahi.
you can shoot a lot of long hours, and they want to do more and more and more and more.
Right. For a director, there must be some, raw talent is something you all crave for, right? Like,
Yeah.
because everybody, I don't know what's the right word, everybody gets corrupted. Our system makes them a particular way. Aisa hi hona hai, aisa hi. This is the time when you can make them do whatever you want.
No, I think it happens with directors also. We
With
fall into
directors
our
also,
patterns
okay.
also, right? So we fall into our patterns like this is how a shot should happen. This is what the performance should be. And I do struggle. I struggled when I shifted from an Imran to an Aditya also, and from an Aditya to him also. Or even from an Aditya to a Siddharth. You do struggle. And forget the actors. But what it does is by keeping yourself involved with the ones who are today's generation, you stay more relevant, honestly,
Right.
Rohit. Like I've done that with my music also.
Yeah, you have.
And I've
Absolutely.
always tried to launch one new singer.
Yeah.
Right
you
from
have.
my first film to now.
True.
Every film and even one new music composers. Same thing with actors here.
Right.
I think if this clicks for you, this gives you 10 more years of being connected to the younger people, I think.
Right.
So this would be, I've been here for 20 years now. I think this would add another 10 at least. I think.
It will. As much as you and I may think we are the earlier generation. This
Yeah.
is the current generation.
This exactly.
Yeah. So,
Do you know what a Labrador personality is and a black cat personality is?
please enlighten me with all this.
I'm not still sure, but I hear them talk about
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Right.
But it's just basically a warm person and a cold person,
Okay,
basically.
okay.
So basically, the people stay the same. The terms change.
Terms
yeah.
change,
Like I
lingo
keep telling them, like even by making this, is this love story Gen Z? Is this love story? I don't think love really has a time thing. Like Titanic was based in a prehistoric time, but we were sitting here and crying.
True.
When I was in college,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then it released 25 years later.
Yeah,
During Ashiki, I went and saw it. I cried again.
Yeah, yeah. True, a good story and a love story. These
love
these
story,
are absolutely
yeah.
time bound, right?
Yeah.
Right. But do you see there's a this is a genuine, very different generational shift that we have seen. They are very different. They are called something. They're called Gen Z. What is the big difference? You've directed all these people that we named. You've directed Imi, who's such a good actor. Imran Hashmi is one of the most bankable box office star. Then Adi and Ritesh and everyone. How are they different?
It's the same. I mean, yeah, their language is different, their technology, and the world is a big, smaller place for them because they're much more like we would travel abroad. These guys don't have to. They know everything that's about what's happening everywhere. I think wars are also happening much more larger scale nowadays because social media is there a lot
there,
more.
right.
But yeah, if your heart breaks, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah.
Whether it's on technology, whether someone sends you a letter, your heart breaks. Whether someone calls you and tells you, whether someone sends you a text,
True.
or whether someone DMs you, I think it hurts the same way, man.
That's the same way. Right.
There's this thing what you can swipe as much as you want left or right.
Right.
The heart is stayed in the same place.
True.
It's a little center left. And it's going to be there for generations to come. It's not going to change.
Absolutely. Do you take, you have done great for newcomers and younger actors. Do you take this responsibility now? Two acting careers you have taken on yourself. They are going to be out there one Friday. It's on you. You're the director of the film.
I mean, I can tell you this because we were part of a very eventful film of my life. My first blockbuster essentially was Murder 2. And I remember I lost my dad just before the release, remember?
Yes.
And even when the whole world was celebrating, there was a sense of emptiness I felt that guy who was trying to pitch it to, we all want to prove it to our dads, wasn't there in the audience to fight with him, to tell them that, now I've become something. You told me I shouldn't be a part of this world, but now I have proved you wrong. I'm more successful than you. And suddenly that guy is not there. And through that void, I think somewhere came Ashiki. And while making that film, there were too many new people in that film, Rohit. And what you realized in that film is, everyone was new in Ashiki. And what I realized is that you'll not be remembered for what you earn from this world, but the some stories that you contributed to, and you will be remembered for longer.
Sure. Yeah.
Even today, no matter what happens on the 25th of April, Shraddha Kapoor, no matter where she is, she will always call me and tell me,
Nice. Yeah.
thank you for wherever I am today.
Wow, that's really nice.
Whether it's Mithun, whether it's, I spoke to Arijit a few days back. Yeah, we all want to, some people all become filmmakers because, the money is great, the fame is great, but somewhere you can feel that you've touched someone's life, right?
True.
So with newcomers, there can be no better validation than that.
Right.
If you can, tomorrow these guys become huge stars, I'm glad to say I will always be a part of their first film.
Yeah, absolutely. वो एक spark दिख रहा है to become stars.
Yeah, I really like how they went out and put themselves in this film.
Yeah. Nice.
And if it's how honest I feel they are, I think in this country people fall in love with the person, not the craft.
Right.
I think you've had far more greater actors, but some people that's what the stars are in the country. And if these people fall in love with who they are, like Bhatt Saab told me this, that there has to be something good in a person for him to be liked as a director or a star in this country.
True.
It's not his craft, it's his person inside him.
Right. That production house where you started was very different. But, that gave you your roots, that gave you your storytelling, the power initially at a time when you started out. This is a very different place.
Yes.
I just want to ask you, how is Yash Raj different?
The basics
it's
are the
everybody's
same, man.
dream to work here.
Yes, totally. But the basics are the same. The importance to script. I know of companies who start without a script. that company wasn't, this company was. Right. Now I don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
But this company obviously came with the script. The importance to music.
Yeah, importance to music.
Music.
Yeah. Both have that. Yeah.
Both had that. They have more access to actors and stars. That company probably didn't have that access.
Fair enough.
But the fundamentals to how, even the discipline, about how many days you make a film in, it's pretty similar. I mean, yeah, they make bigger films, so the thing is different. But
right.
Yeah, but that's good. We directors are very indulgent people. We need someone to know that someone that is watching us over.
True. Yeah, that's important.
But because great art is always made within a canvas, man, I think.
Right.
So we can just keep painting everything.
Sure. Tell me about working with Aditya Chopra. When today and this is done and you all have done your jobs, when you and he are in the cabin, what are you all discussing? What does he say?
So he said a lot of personal things to me once he saw the film.
Okay.
Which meant a lot to me. It was great validation. Actually, it was quite a thing. He saw the film and the next day he said, I want to talk to you. So I thought, the tendency with us filmmakers are to get your arms out and think that there's something wrong and get ready for something. Yeah, okay. And then he took me in the room and he explained about how he liked the film and how he appreciated the fact of how this film was even made and how it's turned out. The one basic thing that all of us, anyone who's made films and who knows making films, knows that we actually don't know in the end of it.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah. So for someone like him to even turn around and say, no matter how the film does or no, I want to tell you, you know your job.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's amazing.
That takes a lot of need. And that meant a lot to me because honestly speaking, I was that kid. Although I worked in Vishesh all my life, I remember wanting to become a director when I saw Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge in the theatre. Well, everyone was raving about the actors. I want to know who this young man was who directed this film. Because I thought it was a path-breaking point of view to take on a love story. And it was a dream. So I remember sending a message on the first day when I started this film. Wanting to make love stories came from the fact when I saw his films. For him to turn around and say something like that, it meant a lot.
That's amazing that you saw that and you wanted to know who he is. Today we are sitting at Yash Raj. You've done a film for him.
Yes.
Amazing. I've kept the music part for the last moment. You're not any director. You're amongst the very few directors who understand music. Many directors I know do understand also, but there are many like Gaane Leke Aao, 4, 5, whatever, and fit it here, there, and all. And we've seen those films. What was the starting point where you're like, I don't know, how did you understand music at the start? If I take you to Vishesh again, back to your first film.
Well, it was survival. Yeah, survival is the mother of everything. I think. Let's be honest. We didn't have stars in Vishesh. And the only thing that people wanted to market and sell very well would be the music.
Right.
So while people had big stars and would market it would market them a lot, when they would have 5 promos, we realized we would have just one. But have such a banger song that it gets as powerful as the other 5.
Did you want big star directors, music directors?
No, so at that time what happened, this is about having having good music. As opposed to stars acting in the film.
Okay.
I think great music can come, see the thing with music is, the best song can come from the newest guy.
Absolutely.
It's just that a more established guy who's done it before might have more chances of giving you good music.
Right.
But there is no guarantee when it comes to music. Who that great song comes from. So and I was 22 or 23 at that time. So none of these big music directors were taking me seriously.
Okay.
So I went across and got music, which was, and had an ensemble thing, for mixed people doing it. It followed in my second film, became a practice in the third, fourth, fifth, and suddenly that just what was your inability became my style, and then other people started doing it. Remember Ashiki 2, I think, was the first album where there were multiple music directors that won that year. Again in Ashiki, when I was doing it, all the senior guys didn't want to work with me because they were so scared on taking on the Goliath of music called Ashiki.
You realized you were breaking a trend and doing your own.
I remember there was a very senior filmmaker, I can't mention whose music I really appreciate, who works with new people himself, told me when I was doing Ashiki Singh, I had to recreate Dheere Dheere Se. And I was telling him, and he's the same filmmaker who actually told me, you have a sur in you, Mohit, you should follow it after Murder 2.
Nice.
And then I made Tumio and I met him and I said, sir, I was supposed to do a film for him. I said, I can't, I'm making Ashiki. And he said, you must recreate Dheere Dheere Se. And I said, so my film doesn't depend on it. And he said, no, you can't. And he genuinely meant it with a lot of concern.
Correct.
But the best part was, I got to know Shraddha wasn't born when Ashiki 1 released. And Aditya obviously didn't know what Ashiki 1 was. Aditya Roy Kapoor, big Aditya Roy Kapoor.
Right.
What is Dheere Dheere Se?
Yeah.
So I realized, we have to connect. I had to make music for today. So and only these new guys were, didn't care about the pressure because they had nothing to lose. So Mithun was a new guy, Ankit was a new guy, G Dada was relatively new. It's classic, but didn't really. And that's how we made the music for Ashiki. Then it just became a process. Then, I think what happens is how much importance you give to that part of filmmaking, and I enjoy that part. I enjoy making music, and honestly, I don't know anything. Honestly, Rohit, I don't know any scale, major, minor. I can't play any instrument. That C flat, D sharp, and all. I have no idea of that. But I remember once we had made the music for a particular film for Ras 2, and Raju Singh had, after very long, done a song called Sonio in that film. And that song did really well. And he gifted me a guitar and he said, don't ever learn it.
Don't ever
Learn it. It's because you break the rules and you don't follow a pattern. I think the best way, music is supposed to be such that while it's a pattern, if you get stuck in one style, it gets kind of repetitive.
Right.
So, I don't think I have any great sense or any great edge over anybody. I just give it a lot of more importance to music in my film.
You have a good ear for it.
I would say I hear a lot.
You hear a lot.
I have more great patience for it.
What would be on your playlist? What do you hear?
I hear everything. I hear every indie song.
Okay.
If I don't like it, I'm a big Emilia Bantai fan. I'm a big. I've DM'd him also, I think, a couple of times. I'm a great Yo-Yo Hari Singh Padsha fan. But I also hear every independent song from these new guys, and if I like a song, I just contact them and tell them I want to work with them.
Wow, nice.
That's how it was with Fahim.
Yeah.
After I heard Ishq. It's an independent song that he did, which done really well in the indie circuit. That's how Saiyaara has come, the title track.
Right.
I just think it's. I feel the whole thing about indie music, and they keep saying indie music and film music and all. I think that's all rubbish.
Okay.
We've always survived on indie music. KK was an indie star before he became. Badshah was an indie guy. Yo-Yo was an indie guy. Except Arijit Singh, most of the people were indie people before they came into mainstream making kind of thing, right? This industry's always survived on independent artists.
Right.
Whether it's a singer, whether it's a composer, whether everyone. Altaf Raja.
Yeah, right. The king, yeah.
King, like all these guys, man. So I think it's about finding them at the right time.
Tell me about the songs from this. I left Bandra, I reached here, I listened to all your songs back to back. Before your interview, I wanted to just go through it.
Wow.
When did they take shape? Which is close? Which one is really close? Was your idea close to you?
All of them have a story of their own, Rohit, and I think that's what I enjoy. I think I enjoyed this process much more. The story behind making a song. The whole song production is like a mini film making by itself. Like, for example, Barbad was a song I heard when I was working with this label called Viral. And I heard this song called, which was super processed and super done up. It was superly filled and very electronic a song. So I actually had to tell Rish to empty the song out completely and just play it on a piano and make me hear it with Zubin's voice. And that's how the song happened.
Right.
Then he wrote the lyrics, and I told him it's not a heartbreak song. It's actually a song of falling in love. Where the guy is falling hopelessly, madly, truly in love with somebody. So that's why he thinks he's getting ruined. But then Saiyaara was actually me going back to how I worked in the past, where you hear a tune from one singer and a composer who's very raw, collaborate with an established person who has the production capacity, like Tanishq. Get Irshad Bhai to do the lyrics, and all different cultures to come together to make one song that comes into your title song.
Right.
That was a different process. So for a guy from Kashmir meets a guy from Bengal, meets Irshad Bhai who's from Punjab, for a movie in Bollywood, in Bombay, in Mumbai, mix all these cultures together and you get a song like Saiyaara.
Yeah, yeah.
So every song has a story of its own.
Right.
And
Today, while we are sitting, you all have dropped Humsafar, which
Humsafar,
is
yes.
which is a beautiful, beautiful song.
Very,
I
thank
really
you.
enjoyed listening to it.
Thank you. That's a song that's these guys are beautiful people here. Sachet and Parampara.
Yeah, they
you should
are.
see them work together. The way they look
Yeah.
at each other, with the way Sachet looks for her approval.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a husband-wife couple like this. I actually called my wife to see them once,
Right.
to see how well they work together. And I did call my actors also to see how they work together.
Right.
Because when they were working, I was like, you
Why?
know.
I mean, we won't get to see, so please tell us how they work.
So yeah, so in my film, the boy and girl, she writes, he composes and sings.
Oh, nice.
And it's a sync of music and lyrics.
Arre wah.
So they have to I could not explain that. This is a good question actually, to explain the chemistry of how to capture that.
Yeah.
So that's what I did is I saw Sachit and Parampara in my studio in Bandra. And I just called Ahaan and Anita and I said, just come here and just look at how he looks at her. Look at how she responds to him.
So beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, you can't capture this.
Yeah.
If you'll get even like 1% of what these two do, and they're such beautiful people. Like when she was pregnant and not doing shows, he refused to do shows because he said, "No, yaar, I don't want to be on stage without her.
Nice, yeah.
She completes me."
That's where the magic
That's
is.
where the magic is, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So I think meeting them was actually Adi sir's idea. He told me that meet these guys. You've never worked with them, and not that he had, but he just knew from watching films that we would sync.
Wow. That's amazing.
So I think that was a good thing. Yeah.
Right. You know, you were telling your composer that this is not a breakup song, this is a song of falling in love.
Yeah.
What is the difference? Because difference is in the lyrics, right? Not in the music.
Yeah,
Or
it's
is
how you
it?
strum the guitar. When you fall in love, you're strumming the guitar in a different melancholy way.
Okay.
There's melancholy both ways.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Kya farak hai if there's no words? Yeah.
No, one is if I fall in love with you, I will get destroyed. And one is I'm falling hopelessly, madly in love with you. It's
Alright.
just the
Yeah,
connotation of
correct.
how you say that.
Correct.
Everyone says you fall in love, not rise in love.
Yeah.
So I just use that as barbad, I think.
Right. Mohit, after all this, box office is another story.
Yes.
Like we discussed earlier, nobody knows.
Yes.
I really wish this does well for
you.
all of you. There are good people involved in this film. But tell me, are you someone, you know box office, you track, are you someone who keeps an eye on the box office? Do you like, what is your release
You know, I'll
day
tell
like?
you honestly, I just asked this question a long time back, and I just think is a hit film allows you, I love what I do, Rohit. I've been doing it.
yeah.
I met you 10 years back. I was probably talking the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe I have more words now, but I think I was enjoying my job as much
Yeah.
10 years back that I am today. I want to enjoy it for at least 10 or 20 years more of my life.
will, yeah.
And I think box office numbers are very, very important so that I can keep living this life and keep making movies. Am I very greedy about money? Maybe not. I think money, but you need to make money for people so that they keep letting you make movies.
Right.
And I think that's what I want to keep doing for the rest of my life.
Right. You've already got the Aditya Chopra stamp, which is the biggest stamp where he said you know how to make a film. That adds a lot of boost and confidence. Ki yaar,
After 14 films, it's validation.
it's great validation.
It's great validation, especially when you've had a fanboy moment yourself. These are these checklists you need to, like, all of us have these in our life, right?
Yeah.
That you want to prove it. You want to, like, first do a blockbuster film. Then you want to do a blockbuster film with no big actors but newcomers. Then you want to do it outside your company.
Yeah.
Then you want to do it with another. So these are all checklists that you keep giving. You keep creating goals that you keep going towards. You might be roaming around in circles, but you have to keep going, right?
Have to keep going.
And I'm 20 years later. I remember reaching Kapderam Beach in Goa, and my friend who passed away in this film, Rajat Podar, the art director. I remember calling him up saying that, Dada, we're still here 20 years later, looking at, and I'm still with newcomers.
You're still with newcomers,
And feels like we're running on a treadmill.
Right.
And just similarly how Tabu had said, he said, but we're getting fitter.
Yeah, we're getting fitter. Yeah, getting better. And
20 years later, we're at the same place, but we're fitter today.
Right. Best of luck, Mohit.
Thank you so much, bro.
This looks great from whatever I've seen. Like I said,
you.
don't worry, just relax. This will be out there. The world will love it. I really hope it does well.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, this is Mohit Suri, and you're watching Bollywood Hungama.